Can I just get everyone to be quiet for a moment? I'm going to give you about 5 minutes introduction to the actual meaty part of this tutorial. Normally this will be done at the beginning and we won't have all this housekeeping to worry about. But for now, the housekeeping is pretty important to get everyone organised. Having got organised, let's move on and really get to grips with the topic. The topic is, up the button, can you tell me? The topic is, have human past actions affected the world we live in now? Well, I don't know. I can only know the world I'm living in now. Oh, I don't know. Do you think humans have really changed this world? And if so, how? And is that happening more and more regularly? And are we in a position that things are going to move so fast, we'll find it very difficult to control the way humans are moving? Now, I was going to start off with something very simple, which I've already mentioned. Global warming. Can I just give a quick appreciation, please, of how many people accept the idea that humans over the last century, and particularly over the last 50 years, are causing the world to heat up? All right, I think that's the majority. Please put up your hand now if you don't, and please, if you don't think that, put up your hand. I admire you for doing that. And let me tell you, we need people to take the opposite viewpoint. Are you serious? No, you're really, okay. Anyone else? Come on, there must be someone. Just one more. Okay, so there is one climate denier, if you like, and probably about 30 people who are on the other side, and probably 10 that might be with you, but they're not going to say it. Who knows? In these debates, we really want you to come out strong on your areas and why you think the way you think. Sorry, I've got a horrible feeling this may not be recording. Can you tell whether it is? I've pressed the button.
Yeah,
it is. Yeah. Okay, you can see the little voicing go up and down?
No. There's no little voice thing.
Okay, it's just possible I clicked this thing and we might have lost. Anyway, not to worry, I'll have to see a bit more expressive with my hands. Okay, so to the point. Terribly important we have people on both sides, because that's the only way to really get to grips and really understand and really question what you think. So many of us will say, oh yeah, of course, you know, humans are heating up the world. Why do you think that? Well, you believe it. Why do you think that? Okay, evidence. Because everyone's telling you that. The scientists are telling you that. But it's a conspiracy. I don't know. I don't think it is, but you know what I mean? You've got to be able to go beyond that to really get to grips with not just the awareness of the problem, but understanding of, is it actually real, or is it a conspiracy? Or whatever you raise. So these debates must go backwards and forwards. And respect everyone that comes up with any opinion whatsoever. It's only by doing that you'll start to come to a conclusion. Okay, but let's imagine that climate change is real, and let's believe for a moment, and just accept it for a little while, that it is due to humans. I could say, terrific, we've got the thing licked. We understand where we're going. And I say, no, that doesn't tell us a thing. What caused it? Humans. Yeah, but what do you mean by humans? Is it that there are so many of us? Every one of us is putting out energy and heat. Okay, that's raising the temperature. Of course that's so. No. Is it because we're giving up all these fossil fuels and burning them and changing carbon dioxide and all that sort of thing? Well, the answer, you know, you would say, I would say, is probably yes. Or almost certainly yes. But why are we doing it? Is it because there are so many of us? In which case we want to solve the problem. All we have to do is let off a couple of atomic bombs and knock the population down. Or we put the price of petrol up to the point we can't afford it. So you see what I'm getting at? It's all very well to say there is a thing called climate change, but we want you to go a lot further than that and think about why and how then you can start thinking about action. Does that make sense? When you're doing this subject, keep reading the papers. I don't. They're dreadful, but I do look at ABC and I look at a fair few other things, and I go into blogs, and I'm getting my information now mostly off the internet. You've got to be selective, but I think it can teach you a lot. Get in there, listen and think as part of this course. You may find something that's really interesting you want to take a stage further. Now, I'll tell you what climate change is all about. It's about you. Are you an Australian? Here. You are contributing more to climate change than almost any other human on this planet. Are you an Australian? Ooh, this is not good. Are you an Australian? Where do people come from?
What people?
Yeah.
I was born in Singapore.
Singapore, okay. Actually, you're not too good either then. So making a lot of fossil fuel. Anyone from China or India? Or Kenya?
Kenya probably would be right.
You're way down the list. Now, if we all lived like Kenyans, we wouldn't have global warming. Okay, you can see where I'm driving. Brazil, I have no idea. Brazil's got some interesting features going on. They're building up their fossil fuel utilisation, I don't know how far. That's the sort of thing we should be thinking about in human action for world futures. Now, ever been on a plane? Coming to Perth?
Yeah.
From the eastern states? Oh, you come from Germany? Okay, so flying in, hopefully you had a window seat, you looked out the window, what do you see in all that empty plain of Western Australia? Particularly as you're coming to Perth. What do you see? Haze? When you look at the ground, what do you see? Dirt. Scattered amongst the dirt, what do you see? What are these beautiful little white things like a circle? What are we talking about here? You've seen it? Who has? You come in, you see hundreds and hundreds. What are they? Sulfates. Now, there will probably always sulfates, but there's no shadow of doubt the number of sulfates has increased. Then you fly into Perth, and you look at this enormous spread of urban sprawl with little blue dots. What are they? Sorry?
Pools.
Pools, swimming pools. That's quite amazing. I've forgotten I should be out here. Swimming pools, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of them, all utilising enormous amounts of energy, all putting effectively carbon dioxide up in the air, retrospectively. Germany, where's Germany? You're Germany? Oh, you're Germany. I've been to Germany, well, I've been there quite often, and I wanted to see the Black Forest. Read about it. Absolutely fascinating, beautiful woods. We drove through it without even realising. Anyone from England? Dartmoor? My wife and I went to Dartmoor because we thought this is fantastic wilderness. Again, we almost went through it without realising. We've encroached about everything, and the more you fly and the more you look, the more you see humans interacting around the world, changing the world. We've finally moved into a thing called the Anthropocene, which we talk about. Anyone read about that? Okay, let me take you back a step. About 70 million years ago, a thumping great meteor came out of the sky, bashed into the earth, dust and rubbish went everywhere. There was effectively a winter, an incredible winter. Many species got snuffed, and the whole world changed. That was a meteor. Big volcanoes can do similar things. Anthropocene is the statement that we are the outer space meteor. We have finally got to the point where we can do something pretty big. We're equivalent of many volcanoes erupting. We're equivalent of a meteor smashing in. We are changing species. We are changing the environment. Isn't that great? That's what we've done. In the past, we tried to stop everything up, but we couldn't really manage it. Anyone heard of Easter Island? Easter Island, that marvellous place where all the people living there started cutting down trees, started overpopulating, and finally Easter Island was a mess. In Roman times, the Romans used to spread out around Europe, over push the environment and cause deserts. But in those days, it didn't really matter. Got a little bit of desertification there. Easter Island claps out. A few other places clap out. No big deal. The rest of the world is going ahead. For the first time, we can't say that anymore. We've got humans spread around the world doing things collectively. None of us are going to escape those things. Okay, that was just to sort of wind you up a little bit. Now, in your groups, start focusing. What do you think are the most important things happening right now, which is going to change this world in all sorts of weird and wonderful ways, and what are the root causes? Now, you may decide to look at it globally, or you may decide to look at it on a national state, or even regionally. But think of it. And then, have a look at yourself in the mirror and ask yourself, are you contributing to this? And what are you doing about it? And that will be taking on later. Okay, I think that'll do. With a bit of luck, this voice will work.